Joseph, favored son of Israel.
The road to Emmaus. On the third day after Jesus' crucifixion, 2 of his disciples were going to the village of Emmaus. While they walked and questioned each other, Jesus himself came near and walked with them, but their eyes were kept from recognizing him.
What are we going to do now?
I thought he was the one. Why are you walking and talking so sadly?
Don't you know the things that have happened recently in Jerusalem?
What things? The things concerning the prophet, Jesus the Nazarene. The priests and our rulers crucified him.
But we were hoping that he would redeem Israel.
And now it is the 3rd day since these things happened.
Also, some of the women from our group said that he was alive.
Foolish people. Didn't the prophets write that the Son of Man had to suffer these things in order to enter into his glory? Beginning from the law and the prophets, he explained to them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. This is just one of the stories Jesus could have told. Consider the story of Joseph!
Greetings, Bible nerds! It is I, Artsy Bible Nerd. And, whoa, come on, hold on there, music. Let's turn down the music. That was a little bit of a... That was not a gradual swell of music. That was a shock of music. Greetings, Bible nerds. It is I, Artsy Bible Nerd. When last we saw our hero Joseph, he was getting the lowdown from his father Israel. Israel is about to send him off to Shechem in order to find his brothers. We have all the heads drawn. All we need is the neck and shoulders to be drawn. They've been drawn in with pencil, and now we're going to start inking. Inking! So, I have news that I'm telling everybody if you have ears, let them hear. I've been looking for a job for a very long time, and today is the first day that I can tell you I have finally found my job. That's all I can tell you about it, because the more I tell you about it, the more I'm going to dox myself. The more I'm going to... Because there's too many clues if I tell you the real name of the job. So, it is for a government entity, and that's it. That's all I can tell you. So you're probably going to think that I'm working for the CIA, and I'm going to allow you to think that. I'm going to allow you to think whatever you think. So I'm going to make some blue pencil marks to see if I like. Blue pencil is where you make all of your creative, your experiments in blue pencil. And I used to ask myself, why do I use blue pencil? Why do I still use blue pencil? I'm a digital artist. Why do I still bother doing things digitally, doing things semi-traditionally? Why do I still use blue pencil? It's not just a mental thing. It does allow you to work some things out. It does allow you to, at least for me, I know artists who, I watch David Finch every Monday. He has not been streaming recently, but when he does stream, I do watch him whenever he's available. And he may put down a few blue lines, like as guidelines. I don't know how the man does the magic that he does, but he may put down a few lines, but he goes straight to ink after he puts down those few lines. Keep in mind, he's been doing the job ever since the 90s. So he really should have it down by this time. And I'm going to so these lines are going to have a cast shadow on them. So if you have been following along with all the words that I say, I try not to overshare, but if you're streaming for 2 hours at a time, every single day, you're going to learn something about my life. So, oversharing if you're sharing, then you're oversharing. If you're worried about oversharing, then don't stream. As long as I don't give you my social security number, my address, Alright, so there should be some curvature on the chest, like this. I guess that works right there. This lapel, this side of the robe, I suppose. There should be less light here, I think. And that should not be such an angle right there. By the way, I want to thank Lady Lara Croft. Lady Lara Croft _0 followed 3 days ago. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family. One of us. One of us. Too much light here on that neck. All right, now let's do some of that. You know what? I'll do that with a pen. I'll do that with a brush. Let's do some brushing. I think I'm happy with most of what I see here. So my daughter is in a musical. You may have heard it. It's called Seussical the Musical. She's going to be performing Seussical the Musical for the elementary school kids. And as luck would have it, maybe it's luck, maybe it was planned, tomorrow is Dr. Seuss's birthday. So the elementary school kids have been learning about Dr. Seuss, have been reading Dr. Seuss, and now they're going to see a production about Dr. Seuss during the school day. That's what they do. They practice. The last part of their practice is playing it for the elementary school kids. It's like a preview. It's like a trailer, a movie trailer. just a taste. Give you a taste. I'll give you a taste of this. If you want more, bring your parents. Pay the money. Blah, 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 blah. So I got the news today that I actually got the job. I had it was yesterday. I had the round two interview yesterday, and I hung out there for longer than an hour, for quite a bit of time. Hung out with my soon-to-be supervisor. I'm guessing that he just wanted to know. I mean, when you're going to work closely with somebody, you want to know their personality. Do you actually like the guy? Do you actually want to work with this person? He said that it was down to two candidates, including me. So it was me and the other guy, and I'm guessing that yesterday was all about figuring out if he could work with me, if he could live with working with me. And I want to know that as well, because my past few jobs have been not fun people to work with. And I was sticking it out just because I wanted to, make income. But the last few jobs did not work out. So I have a very good feeling that this job is going to work out. It is for a government entity, like I said. People that I know who work for this entity enjoy working there, so that's all I can say. I'm a G-man. Oh, what else I was going to say about the musical that my daughter's in, Seussical, the musical. She says that she's been cracking up. Like the people who actually know what the script is supposed to say, she actually has been making those people laugh. So that's a good sign. If you're making people laugh who already know the jokes, it's a pretty good sign, in my book. All right, let's work on this left shoulder. She says she's making the orchestra laugh. Let's see. Do I want a 0.4? I think I want a different size of pen here. I think that's it, by golly. I don't like that. There we go. That's better. That's better. We are hatching. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Bam, bam, bam. So I did a thing for Ukulele for Worship, asked me to do a thing for her. If you want to follow her channel, starting today was the deadline. March 1 was the deadline, so I'm not sure what she's going to be doing with it, but it's going to be I'm going to be prominently displayed on her channel for, I think she said, for 2 weeks. So I thank her for this opportunity. Uh-oh, that's an eraser. I don't want that. So we celebrated my employment today. We celebrated with lobster because we do have food stamps, and food stamps can buy lobster. So thank you, government taxpayers. You can say all you want about welfare and government subsidies and people sponging off the government, people who don't need it. It has been very, very helpful to my family. People fall on hard times due to no fault of their own. Maybe it is their fault, but that doesn't mean that they should pay for it. That doesn't mean that their kids should pay for it. That doesn't mean that, nobody wants to willingly put their family at stake. Nobody wants to willingly put their family's lives at stake, and not being able to put food on the table. So what that does for me, I don't start my job until the 13th, so that's 2 Mondays away. That means that's 2 weeks without having to actually work to look for a job, which, believe you me, there's no harder job than actually having to look for a job. The stress, having to worry about where your next meal is coming from, where your next paycheck is coming from. Wondering, is this the edge of his shoulder? Should there be more hatching on that? I think I should close that line. Close line. All right. Next. Let's put all this wrist in shadow, the whole wrist in shadow. Let's do some pencil work here. Pencil work. All right, so this is going to be the shoulder. The top of the shoulder is going to be in the light. Everything else is going to be relatively in the dark. this part in the way dark, in the dark side. And then we got this. We got this. I think it's going to look more like that. Let's use some eraser to put a little bit of highlight here, and a little bit of highlight here, and here. Da, 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 da. All right, now let's work on this side of the robe. So we're going to have a cast shadow here from his head. There we go, cast that shadow. I think that's a little too wide. Let's make it go like that. And this side of the Adam's apple can be dark. This side, from there to there, that can be dark. Let's do some erasing here. Nope. Where's that line? Let's make this area dark. Alright, so this fold, the top fold, is going to curve around the top of his shoulders, his collarbone. So I want this half in the dark. Let's make that progressively darker as we go along. And we got some folds here. Let's erase this hard line. There is no such thing as a hard shadow line, especially when you're gradually grading. I've only been speaking English for more than 50 years. I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm doing here with the English, with the language. I don't want that to go all the way across. Let's work on, oh no. Let's work on this line a little bit. Little bit. All right, and this side of the jacket is going to cause a cast shadow on those folds. I think we need a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. A little bit more darkness over here. I like that. I like it. Yep, I like it, I like it, I like it. All right, so now the left shoulder is going to be a little less. This is the light shoulder. This is the shoulder that's in the light. So this is going to be I need a little bit more taper there. All these lines could be tapered a little bit more. Who drew these lines without being tapered? Why do I have to clean up after people's messes? Who do I have to talk to about this book? All right, so now these angles look a little too sharp. Let's do it on the right layer this time. So I'm measuring each of these folds. I'm measuring a quarter. Like here's a half, and here's a quarter. And I'm not going to go straight up to the point. I'm going to make a little hesitation there, a balk. Not going to do that every single time. Here's the half, here's the quarter. Let's erase that tick mark. Why a quarter? Because that's the way I like it. That's the way a half is too much darkness, and for the light side, that is. A half is too much darkness, and a quarter is just right. Just right. Just like Goldilocks. All right, now I think we're ready. Let's make some black lines. Of course, things could change as soon as I put the ink down. Quote unquote digital ink. So this is where, when I make sloppy lines, I have to zoom out to remember what I did those sloppy lines for. There's a lot of things here that were just sketchy lines that I was not ready to commit to. That's a little too circular there. All right, let's see what happens when I make this all dark. Let's get a bigger brush so it could cover more area. First, let's work on the neck. All right, am I happy with that? I think so. Let's try to make these a little less angular this time. Ooh, I like that line. That's a mistake, but I like that mistake. Tell you what. Let's go back here. I'm not sure I like... I know I said I liked that mistake, but now I'm starting not to like the lines that I wanted to be there. This is a good song to be racing to. Hey, Art Zman, raid! Art Zman is raiding with a party of 2. Welcome in, Art Zman. How goes the drawing? The drawing is going. It is... Here's what I'm doing. This is page number... What am I on? Page 18 of my comic. It is called Joseph, Favored Son of Israel. And here we have the title characters. Here's Joseph on the left and Israel on the right. I have, for those of you who have not seen the trailer, I'm going to show you a trailer to explain to you what I'm all about. How convenient that music would stop immediately.
Joseph,
Here we go.
favored son of Israel. The road to Emmaus. On the third day after Jesus' crucifixion, 2 of his disciples were going to the village of Emmaus. While they walked and questioned each other, Jesus himself came near and walked with them, but their eyes were kept from recognizing him.
What are we going to do now?
I thought he was the one. Why are you walking and talking so sadly?
Don't you know the things that have happened recently in Jerusalem?
What things? The things concerning the prophet, Jesus the Nazarene. The priests and our rulers crucified him,
But we were hoping that he would redeem Israel.
and now it is the third day since these things happened.
Also, some of the women from our group said that he was alive.
Foolish people. Didn't the prophets write that the Son of Man had to suffer these things in order to enter into his glory? Beginning from the law and the prophets, he explained to them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. This is just one of the stories Jesus could have told. Consider the story of Joseph!
So that is what I'm working on. That is, I'm working on 22 pages for the first issue, and it's going to be uploaded on Webtoons. I want this kind of, thank you. I want this kind of content to be available for free. I don't want people to have to pay for biblical content. So that's why I am going to be uploading it onto Webtoons. I am accepting donations. Don't get me wrong. I'm not afraid to make money off of this, but the in order to read it should be free. So what were you working on? Artsy Mon. Something tells me you were drawing again. How many days in a row has it been? I think I remember your story that you have been drawing every single day, every single night, for a very long time, for years. Drawing a sleeping elf. Hey, drawing is drawing. Drawing is... Every drawing you draw, you learn a lesson from. Every drawing is a lesson to yourself. All right, let's use the number 7 pen, and we're gonna hatching. Not every night, maybe 95%. Oh, okay. I'm still impressed. I stream every other night. I do have... Oh, that's the good news today, is I finally got a day job. I finally have been looking for a day job, and finally got one. It's been a long... the saga has been long. It's been a... What do they call the Star Wars saga? Anyway, it feels like it's been as long as that. It has been 3 long years of looking for employment. So, thank you. How long have you been working on the comic? I've been working on it since 2000. Excuse me, since 2020. Not that long ago. But since 2020 is when I got the idea. And when I say got the idea, I mean I absolutely believe that it was sent to me I don't believe my brain came up with the idea by itself. I remember I was sitting at the dinner table. I was waiting for food to come to the table, and I was thinking about my book. I've always been in, and when I say always, I mean starting since 2014 is the first day that I learned about typology. I have to make sure I'm saying it right. Typology, not typography. I've always wanted to do something like musical or artistic in order to explain what it's all about. I'd like to do a comic. I have dabbled but haven't landed on anything yet. Maybe a Christian rot would be the way to go. Christian... What word did you mean? Is that a typo? Christian rot? Christian root. Okay. That makes sense. That's a real word. Yeah, feel free. What's the worst that can happen? The worst that could happen is no one has ever died from bad art, right? I'm not an engineer. I'm not creating a bridge. I'm not drawing... Nobody's going to drive across my bridge, and the bridge is not going to fall down. Nobody throws tomatoes at artists. Not visual artists, at least. Died laughing, yes. Ooh, man, that was... Died gagging, maybe. I have drawn some bad art. I've seen some bad art. You know, the thing that has held me back for such a long time is being afraid of making bad art. There's a quote that I heard a few weeks ago. The thing that holds you back from making good art is the fact that you want to make good art. If you just make something and don't worry about it being, you know, winning an Eisner Award, and I know that's easy for me to say, but I want this to be good as well. I'm not here to try to make bad art. But the more you get hung up on your art being perfect, the more you get hung up on will this be hanging up in a museum somewhere or something, the more that's going to paralyze you, the more it's going to stop you in your tracks. Even when I feel like I'm doing a bad piece, I keep working at it, and it turns out better. Yes, exactly. So my own personal journey, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of... Oh, I don't like that one. Let's try that one again. How should I do that one right? Let's do... Oh, that's not fabric, that's his neck. That's what happens when you zoom in too close and you forget what you're drawing. All right, let's go down instead of up. I was going to say something. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yes. I have been watching. I have been watching quite a few YouTube videos about how to draw comics. I found just recently. I found a guy. He's on Twitch. His name is Honor Studios. He also has a comics class. I forget the name of the class. But he has worked professionally for Warner Brothers as an animator. Let's get this guy's shoulder. You got to always perfect and keep perfecting your craft. It's not going to be perfect on the first day. Every drawing that if I'm done drawing something, there's a reason I'm done with it. It's because I am happy with it. But then weeks go by, and then I am embarrassed by that very same drawing. Because I'm always growing, I'm always learning new things. So the first page of this book was done about a year ago, a little bit longer than a year ago. I was not the same artist a year ago that I am now. Would you try this if you weren't working digitally? That's a good question. I have published a book before, but even that was digitally. I used Photoshop back then instead of Clip Studio Paint. And, oh boy, the computer I was using back then was so underpowered. It was not meant to do that kind of work. I would have to save my work frequently, or else it would crash. Crashes happened often. I feel that way about my work too. Yes, exactly. And because this is not my full-time job, I only draw like 2 hours a day. 2 hours every other day, actually. It's not as fast as I would like it to be, but my point, I don't care if it's fast or not, I just want it to be good. I want it to be as good as I can make it, at least. Nothing wrong with taking your time. Well, yeah. So I have, I'd made a Christmas book for children once. That was 2012. And it was fast, and it was done on time. It was done by deadline, the Christmas deadline. But looking back on it, years later, I really wish I took more time with it. Because it was done, but it wasn't done well. So this is why I'm trying to get this one done at least as well as I can do it. I feel like I keep repeating myself, but I think it's time to save my work. Save. Jesus saves, and so should you. Here we go. All right, which panel next? This one or this one? I think this one is more fleshed out. Let's work on panel number 3 instead of number 2. Let's use the blue pencil. All right, we got the light coming from his left. Let's start with his neck. So I knew I wanted to draw a comic, but what the comic was about was always in the air. I wasn't really sure what it was going to be about until 2020. At first, I was just drawing comic covers. That I was explaining one book of the Bible in one page, in one shot. And then COVID happened. COVID threw a bunch of things off. I think I'm going to grab some more coffee and check out some how-to videos. Nice chatting, Artsy. Have a good evening. Don't mean to cut you off. You have probably had a very long night, and you had a long stream, so feel free to get your coffee. Feel free to be responsible and get some sleep. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for bringing your family over here. All right, here we go. Let's see what's going on today. If you're in my stream, you're going to find out certain things about the calendar. Today is March 1st, Wednesday, March 1st, 2023. But not only is it Wednesday, March 1st, 2023, it is also known as Asiatic Fleet Memorial Day. That's very interesting. Now I have to look that up. What in the world is Asiatic Fleet Memorial Day? Asiatic Fleet Memorial Day. I knew exactly what I was looking for. Asiatic Fleet Memorial Day is observed every year on March 1st. In 1942, USS Houston A vessel, part of the Asiatic fleet, was sunk by the Japanese, in which many Americans lost their lives. Okay, so we're memorializing the day that happened. Sort of like Pearl Harbor Day, but on a different day. A different date that shall live in infamy. Stay tuned for what else is special about today. Alright, so I drew these lines the other day just as a sketch. Gonna flesh these out a little bit more depth. So these folds have to have more shadow to them because they're on the dark side of his robe. Let's make them longer shadows. Longer and deeper. Deeper shadows and longer shadows. And then the other side of his robe, let's do some erasing. I think there's a little too much drama happening there at the top. His hand is just a mitten right now, so let's add some detail to the Let's give him some fingers. I think that is a little too... There we go. Good enough for government work. Alright, let's work on this side of his robe. Nope, that's the wrong color. That's going to cast a shadow on that side. There we go. There we go. And now his arm is going to be, this side of the arm is going to be in shadow. The underside of the arm is going to be in shadow. The dark side of his hand, this is going to be very dark over here. Alright, I think that robe is done. Now this side, his left arm has to be darker. Starting with the line, the very furthest line on the left side has to be the darkest. So there's a cast shadow underneath the hand here on the shoulder, so let's make sure that happens. And now let's put this part into darkness here, the whole panel. Darken this whole panel. All right, what else is happening today? Not only is it Asiatic Fleet Memorial Day, it is also Dadgum, that's good day. Dadgum, that's good. Dadgum, that's good day. Dadgum, that's good. Apparently I'm supposed to say that all day long. Where did that expression come from? Dadgum. Dadgum it. This here dadgum robe. Gotta put some light on this here dadgum robe. Gotta put some shadows on this dadgum robe. Dadgum shadows on this dadgum robe. Let's get away with a Nike swoosh here. Nike swoosh on the back of his robe. Daggum swoosh on the back of this daggum robe. Let's put another one of those right there. And his bag. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Let's see if I like it. Daggone, that's good. I like this day. This is gonna be my favorite holiday. Daggum, that's good day. When is Daggum, that's good day coming? March 1st. Every year. Apparently he doesn't have a right side. Let's give him a right side. All right. Apparently I'm boring myself. All right, now if you know anything about Joseph's robe, you know that he has a robe of many colors. Some translations say many sleeves. It was just a robe with sleeves. That's why his brothers were upset. Actually, the robe, it's not just the robe. The meaning of the robe is that he was the leader of the family. So that's what Israel was doing by giving him this robe, and his brothers understood it. If not just a nice coat, all right, I think we're ready to go to ink. Let's go to ink, people. Do 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 do. That looks a little bit bigger than it was in the previous pages. Working on the pinky. Oh man, it's late on. It's late for me as well. I'm gonna be here for 35 more minutes. You can't get rid of me that quickly. All right, what else is going on today? Not only is it Wednesday, March 1st, 2023, not only is it Asiatic Fleet Memorial Day, not only is it Daggum, that's good day, it is also Fruit Compote Day. Fruit Compote. Is that the same as jelly? Could you please pass the jelly? Palmer's All Fruit, that's the commercial. Could you please pass the jelly? Palmer's All Fruit. Don't call it. Call it what you want, but don't call it jelly. But please don't call it jelly. All right, here we go. I think. Let's cast a shadow here under the finger. All right. I think I like it. I think this side of the arm should be a little bit more in shadow. Gotta do what's productive. Gotta do what's productive. Sometimes I hear words coming out of these instruments. It sounds like he's saying, it sounds like the word productive keeps being played. Productive. Gotta do what's productive. All right, I'm pretty happy with this robe. I haven't done any erasing for anything as of yet. All right, I think that side is done. Let's not scribble this. Let's make it look like it's meant to be there. So what this is called, it's called throwing your line. Throwing, it sounds like you're going fishing, throwing your line to the water. What it actually means is you're taking the brush, your digital brush, and it's thick at one end, and then you throw it so it becomes a point at the other end. There you go, that's a better point. Throw it, throw it, throw it. So that's what I'm working on. That's why I love using the brush instead of using the marker, the digital marker at least. The digital marker is better for some things, but not everything. So that's the light side of the robe, so we're not going to use as many folds, not as many folds and creases. I'm going to erase that. Here's a throw, bend, and a throw. Here's a throw right there. I can do that better. I can do it better. Sorry, let's try that one, like that. Point to your point. This music reminds me of Barney Miller theme. Knuckles. Give me a Knuckles. Give me a Knuckles, McGoik. Alright, so maybe I should do some of this here. Let's see if I like that. Let's do some erasing. We're erasing. And let's add some of this. Let's drop it down to number 4 instead of number 7. All right. This is the stage where it looks worse, or maybe I think it looks worse than it actually is, and then when you actually do some hatching, then it all works out. Hopefully that's what the stage is. So I want to thank my YouTube subscribers, those of you who are watching me on YouTube. Thank you for all of my 60 YouTube subscribers. I've reached double digits. I've passed the big 6-0 mark. Well, I haven't passed it. I've reached the big 6-0 mark. I'm almost retirement age, almost at 65. Not that I'm looking forward to that. Not that I'm going to retire after I reach that number. Far from it. All right, so here is where it gets tricky when it's like a 45-degree angle going towards the sun. Actually, none of these are really 45-degree angles, but makes my life easier. Here's one, Like, for example, is the sun up, higher, like up above his head? Because if it is, then that's the way to go. Or is the sun more over here like this? Is it over his shoulder instead of his head? These are the things that I have to figure out. And then I ask myself, who is really going to care about the light besides me? Who is going to overanalyze my light choices besides me? Somebody going to take me and tell me that I'm wrong? It is possible. People love to say that I'm wrong. People love to tell other people that they're wrong. This is the song that sounds like crazy. Does that make me crazy? These hash marks really make... So I learned how to use these hash marks by watching... I should have learned it by watching David Finch, the one that I watched the most. But sometimes you just finally learn something after the 15th time or the 250th time that you've seen it. The time that I actually learned it was by watching Jim Lee on Twitch. He did everything with the fine lining marker. They didn't use a brush whatsoever. No brushes whatsoever. And it looked fantastic. Doop 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 doop. I'm gonna draw for another 12 minutes. Oh, I love that. I love the look of this marker. So instead of going towards the sun on the wooden staff, what I'm going to do is emulate a wood grain. The thinner it is at the bottom, the harder it is. Okay, I think I'm just going to let that go into the darkness. There we go. All right, I think we are done. Oh, we have a hand here. Hand alert. With all the bones and the knuckles and the joints. How many joints are in one hand? Let's make that part dark. Put it in the... Ooh. Let's not make all of it dark. Not this time, at least. Let's see what we can do with this. Nah. All right, so let's do some hatching over here. I disagree now with what I've just done with these fingers. The thumb is right, I think, but the finger should be flatter, not as curled. Let's go back to the pencil. Peanuts, salt peanuts. Not as curled under. So there we go. I think that's it. Zoom out. Okay, I think I'm ready to ink on top of that now. Here's some Knuckles. Knuckles McGoik. Hey, Knuckles. Give me a Knuckles. I got a job for you, Knuckles. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. I keep thinking that I've made it short enough, and then I realize it's not short enough. How about there? Bum, ba-dum. Bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, doo-doo, doo-doo. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. All right, step back. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see what we can see. Bum, ba-dum. All right, that is the end of the music, which is also the end of my stream. Let's save this so I don't lose it. All right, we've got a lot done today on this page. I think we might be done just one more day. Well, we do need some backgrounds. We don't have any backgrounds yet, so I'm going to continue work on that. And now that I don't have to look for a job, I can spend much more time drawing until the 13th when my first day is. So should be going at a pretty good clip from here out. So let's see if we can find somebody to raid. Ba, 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 da. Who can we raid? Oh, let's go see Comics and the Cross. It's been a long time since we've seen Comics and the Cross. All right, so let's do this right. take our time. Gonna open a tab for Comics in the Cross. And now let's open the raid and click on the raid button. All right, we're raiding Comics in the Cross. Who is with me? Looks like there's one viewer ready to raid. All right, one viewer. Let's go see Comics in the Cross. I will be here tomorrow in the afternoon, since I don't have anything else to do. So I'll be here in the afternoon, hopefully, I think around, that's a good question, maybe around 1-ish, from 1 to 3. Because what else do I have to do but stream? So thank you everyone for being here. See you tomorrow at 1 and also tomorrow at 10 p.m. And until then, may the Lord be with you. Peace.